Today we are going to do a discrepant event using milk, food coloring, and Dawn dishwashing soap. Now, what you are going to do is you are going to put a drop of food coloring. I'm only supposed to do 1 drop of each color, but my blue kind of spilt there. So I have 4 different colors of food coloring turned around the perimeter, and then you take your Dawn dishwashing soap and put a drop in the middle. But before that, if you look at the food coloring, you notice that it's kind of just staying where it's at, and it's staying on top of the milk. That's because the food coloring is less dense than the milk. And one of the things that I forgot to say is this is actually whole milk, so the more fat in your milk works better. So whole milk does this best. So what you're going to do is put a drop of soap into your milk. And if you notice, as soon as you put the drop of soap in, it pushed the food coloring towards the edges. And now if you look at the different designs in the milk, it is spreading apart in a tie-dye action. And the reasoning behind this is the soap breaks down the fat molecules in the milk, which in turn reduces the surface tension that's has built up on that. And some of the questions that could be used when doing this experiment in class is you could ask your student, what happens to the food coloring when you put it in the milk? And that is it sits on top. And why do you think that is? Well, it's because it's less dense than the actual milk. And then what happens when you add the soap and fat molecules are broken down and it spreads? What direction did the food coloring go as soon as you put the soap in and it pushed it outwards? And what direction does the food coloring move after the experiment has been running a while? And if you look at that, it's spreading all around. It started off where it was being pushed, and this way it is being spread equally throughout the plate. Does the movement go on forever? And what happens? And no, the movement does not go on forever. Eventually it will stop because the reaction you have already, it's already done everything that can be done right then. And what you could do though is add another drop of soap, and that will start the reaction over again. And so the longer that this sits, the more reaction happens. And you probably notice that when you the soap is kind of, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a little bit more over by the screen to see what happens. And it's, give it a second, and if you notice it's pushing the food coloring away, outwards. And the soap reduces the surface tension of the milk by dissolving the fat molecules. And this is why our fattier milk are, it works better. So the longer it sits, you can see the different reactions it has. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to get the soap and kind of stir it a bit. Get it on there. Excuse you. So I've got the soap and I'm just putting it in the food coloring. And you can see that whenever I touch the straw that has the soap in it, it starts the reaction over again. Let's see if I can do this. So, if you notice whenever I am doing that, it's rolling off the top. And that is the mixture of the soap and the food coloring. So, and that is my Discrepant event.